In this video, I'll be showing you how to create an action movie poster in Photoshop. I wanted to create a poster for a crime thriller movie, and I started with the background. I thought I'd use a shipping yard in the sunset to set the scene of the film. Using the pen tool, I began making selections around the original sky and used the Refine Edge tool to get around the more complicated parts of the image, like the cables. Once I had the original sky selected and removed, it was time to bring in the sunset. The sun became a big harsh backlight, which meant that I was going to need highlights on the metal and that the shipping containers would need to be much darker. After doing some quick color correction, using a color balance, a brightness and contrast, as well as a levels adjustment layer, I began painting the highlights using a hue and saturation adjustment layer. This harsh lighting would later become the driving force behind the poster's dramatic aesthetic. I then duplicated the shipping yard and blended it into the first one to extend the concrete floor. But what good is a story without a main character? I eventually found someone who I thought would fit right into the role, but first we had to do a little wardrobe change. After finding him another jacket to wear, and receiving the thumbs up from the costume supervisor, I moved on to color correction and then painted on the highlights. It took me a while to accept the fact that the main character wasn't going to be that bright because of the lighting, but once I committed to that, things got a lot smoother. After darkening the main character, I then went back to darken the shipping yard even further. I went with the movie title, Lost Cargo, and applied a TV screen texture over the text to give it some punch. The overlay added some grit to the text, but also made the middle of it much brighter, giving it some nice contrast. I kept adjusting and changing some small things in the lighting, and eventually when I was ready, I wrapped things up with a Camera Raw filter. And here's the final poster. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.